Hi, I've never made a video before for YouTube, so this is new for me. I am 7 days deep in consistent attacks of trigeminal neuralgia. I have in the past had very short episodes of the electric stabbing like a knife going from the back of my head forward, make me scream, very short bursts within my sleep. I saw a neurologist for that. After the first one of those, I one night woke up with my mouth area completely numb. So they did an MRI and wanted to rule out. Oh, sorry. It's hard to talk. Wanted to rule out MS, where I have 3 lesions. I'm 41 years old, and they have chalked those up to just 1 per decade or possibly early MS. I started with this pain like this about a month ago, 4 weeks ago. As of now, I thought was a dull toothache in upper molar. And I already take opiate medication 3 a day and 2,000 milligrams of an anti-inflammatory daily for fibromyalgia and polyarthritis. So I was babying it that way, and I increased my fish oil and turmeric consumption to help, and garlic and raw garlic and ginger added to my food. I changed my diet. Oh, sorry. To cleaner eating, healthier foods to try to help with the other stuff. I do have a positive Epstein-Barr virus in my blood, so I'm probably going to bounce around because I do not feel well. So 7 days ago, what I thought was this toothache escalated quite severely, and I thought that I possibly had an abscess because the pain was the worst right here, the bone under my eye, right here, and it was affecting my sinuses in here. It's all the left side of my face. I'm swollen, as you can see, red. I was a lot more red on the 4th of July when I went into the emergency room. Throbbing the back side of my head. So when it hurts and you have a sinus infection, you are naturally drawn to massage to try to relax everything. And with TN, it pisses it off even more. So the ER doctor thought, because I thought I had a tooth abscess, that he didn't see any redness of the gums or swelling. Just follow up with my dentist. He gave me a 600 milligram Motrin and a 500 milligram amoxicillin, because if it was an abscess, it would clear that up, and wrote me a prescription for amoxicillin. By the time I got home, it was a couple hours after taking that medication, and I started feeling a lot worse at bedtime. I could not lay flat to go to sleep. I had to sleep elevated, which is all completely abnormal for me. So the next day, I followed up with my medical doctor, who was an hour and 15 minutes west of where I live. I live in the mountains. And driving to that appointment was pure hell, because the pressure changes on the drive made everything excruciating. My most tender, sensitive spots is in here, which after Googling, I understand that's because that's where the nerves enter my face. It radiates down to the front of my ear, but it's not in my ear. So it's the back side of my head. In here, I do have it up to my forehead. It's not as bad, but the worst has been my upper jaw, my lower jaw, and then down under my jaw here. And in here, I have a lump, which I'm assuming is a swollen lymph node. And the glands under my armpit, which I haven't showered, sorry, are enlarged also on this side. And my neck hurts because you just can't sleep well, I'm sure. Plus, I, I know from my other health stuff that when your nerves are firing, like with sciatica, it causes the muscles to spasm and cramp. So it's like a problem that escalates in more than one way. So I thought for sure this was a tooth. I do have a tooth that I have some problems with. I've been seen with a dentist over quite like a year and a half ago. Um, but what changed that for me, in addition to just the pain spreading, was that it started moving. It wasn't just that tooth anymore. It was teeth on the bottom, and there was absolutely nothing wrong. I look in my mouth every day. There's no redness. There's no swelling of my gums. I have an itching that will happen. So last night I, in desperation, tried tooth gel like Orajel, and that actually really helped. I have a mouth guard that I've tried using, but right now this has gotten so severe that I can't really open my mouth. I cannot eat solid food. I discovered that yesterday with a bowl of clam chowder and naan. I can't chew at this point. It makes everything get very angry very quickly. Any hot and cold beverages and food, anything really hurts it. Driving 15 minutes to the grocery store, I had to go get soup and applesauce and saltines because at least those can dissolve in my mouth. Was excruciating. As the vibration of the car, I'm holding my head like this, and I'm at the store, and a guy in the checkout line tells me not to be ashamed. I'm beautiful. I had lidocaine patches on my face, cut to size for areas. I don't have those on right now because in all this looking things up on Google, I came across that I can use capsaicin cream, which I have on my face right now. And I have that for my fibromyalgia. It's prescribed. I had to get it prescribed by my doctor. So I put it on real light. It does have a burn to it, but not the same kind of intensity as this nerve burn. The night that I came home from, Friday, I came back from my doctor's, and my nose and in here started burning on fire like I had a match lit to my face. So I have scheduled an appointment with a neurologist PA on Tuesday morning, was as soon as they could get me in. My neurologist is booked out until October. I was considering going back to the emergency room last night. I'm having, these episodes are mellow compared to what they normally are for me. And I do cry and I do yelp, but I try not to cry because if I cry, then it causes more pressure. So I'm just constantly holding my head. But what I have on my face is a TENS unit. My face and my neck, and it is on super low. It's not twitching, nothing spasming, because that will make it worse. It's on a very, very low, constant. It was something else I came across in Googling to try, and I have got to say, it helps. As soon as this thing turns off, boy, does my face pain light up. So I have to keep it on. It goes for an hour, so every hour I'm turning it off. Last night was the first night I was able to kind of not have to do it all night long. I am able to sleep. Thank God. That's the only time I get a reprieve from this is sleep. It does not bother me so bad when I'm sleeping. If I go to lay flat, that'll change things. So I have to sleep upright. But I've been bedridden. I can't really watch movies because the headache on the side of my head, and sometimes my eye will start to hurt. Bright lights, sunlight especially, makes my head hurt. I can't have any loud music. I can't be up walking around. If I get up and go downstairs to the kitchen to get something, that's when this happens. I was actually just in the bathroom putting the capsaicin on, and now I'm throbbing from it. So I have to stay down. I was supposed to start a new job the day after I went into the emergency room. I thought I just had a toothache and I could get through this, and it became very evident very quickly that this was something quite a bit more. And I was expecting to feel better by Monday. I've been taking the antibiotics. I'm on day 4 or 5 of those, and there's no improvement. I shouldn't shake my head. No improvement at all. And my doctor told me that he thought this was either TMJ or a viral thing. And that's why I mentioned I have Epstein-Barr virus. And Epstein-Barr virus does stuff like this to our nerves. Back in May, I popped out with a rash between my shoulder blades that I had never had before. And it was very painful to the touch. And I Googled that, and it looks just like shingles. So I had chickenpox when I was 13. I don't ever know of having mono. I did have strep throat a lot growing up. I lived in a household growing up in the 70s and the 80s where your parents smoked indoors and didn't open windows. So I was sick a lot. I had bronchitis, strep throat all the time. And there was a period where I was highly fatigued, and my mom accused me of being on drugs. So it's possible that I had it, and it just was never diagnosed as that. But the blood test was done in October of 2016, I believe, as a doctor trying to uncover the cause of my chronic pain, which is usually muscular and nerve and joint. And I was in 2 auto accidents. I was T-boned in January of 2011, which fractured my neck. And then a year and a half later, September of 2012, I was struck by a van while riding my bicycle, and I was about 3 blocks away from home when it happened at 11:30 in the morning. It was sunny morning. The lady just wasn't paying attention, and she took me out, and it broke several bones within my body. I spent a year not able to walk without assistance. And since those 2 traumas on top of me, on top of other traumas throughout my life, mostly in my childhood, they say fibromyalgia usually manifests. So there's a few things in the pot that could be attributing to this. But this is insane. And I'm really strong. I thought I've had such intense pain with just my fibromyalgia that I've literally thought I was going to die from it. And this supersedes that. This is hard. And not to be melodramatic, but I can see why they dub this the suicide disease. I'm not that type of a person, and I don't think even the people that may have were that type of a person, but this has definitely a breaking point behind it, and I can see that. But there are options out there. There has to be a way to help it. I see people that have been suffering with this for unrealistic amounts of time when there's surgery options available. So that I don't understand. I've done Google searches, and I'm finding things within a week that are not taking the pain away, and they're not curing it, but they're definitely adding assistance to it. Opiates and anti-inflammatories do not help this. I have found that out. I've tried taking even just a little more of my pain medication that normally helps, and it's helping great with my other stuff. It does take the edge off of this a tiny bit. I have to, at least it's doing that, but it doesn't take care of the pain. So I will put this up and see what happens on Tuesday, and I will try to keep track of this. See, I know better than to push on this. It hurts so bad that it's just instinct to like massage and push, and I can't stop. So heat makes it unhappy. If I can do a heating pad on super low, like warm, but not warm. And usually I'm glued to a heating pad and a mattress pad for my muscle pain in my legs and my back. Ice does not help at all. I'll get 5 minutes of relief, and then it's ow central. So yeah, I'm just praying that this PAIC, she does Botox injections. I hope that she can just inject here and it helps. I wish this would stop. I would really like to start my new job, but there's just no way. And it's like got this itching in my sinuses that just, and across the gums right now, it's just in here that drives me nuts. But I'm not congested. I don't have a typical sinus infection. I ruled all that stuff out before I even went to the ER. But now, I mean, it's literally hard to talk, and I can't even open my mouth wide. When I do try to look up there at my teeth, like it's physically, the muscles are so tightened down that it's not letting me. So, I see other people having videos where they're totally just talking normal and stuff. That's kind of how I was when I went into the ER, even though I was in incredible amounts of pain. So you can kind of tell that they're in pain, but there's severities to this. And when you're clenched down and unable to really open your mouth, yeah, then there are people that are screaming their bloody murder because that's how intense this pain is. It's frustrating that you tell people what's going on with you and they don't get it because they're not going through it. I can't go to school. I can't go to work like this. I spend most of my day sleeping right now because my body is so exhausted. Oh, and it's not an infection because I don't have a fever. So but I'm burning up in the face because the nerves are firing and angry. Okay, I think I'm rambling now, so I will wrap it up, but I will update when I know more. Okay, thank you.